All right, we have Nikali Thomas here today talking about his experience in modeling and acting. Nikali, tell us a little bit about how did you get started?
So I kind of got started, well, when I first moved out here to Utah.
Okay.
And if I'm being honest, it wasn't something I was seeking. It wasn't something I was like, oh, I'm gonna, do this and be the next this. I had seen like an ad,
Okay.
and
One
had
of
been
our
one of your advertisements, and had kept seeing it and thought like, no, that's cool. That would be cool. Had seen it a couple times, and then there was just, one time that I thought, let me see what this is about. Now, just to kind of backtrack, so I moved out here to Utah, clean slate. I had had some issues back in Los Angeles, mentally and kind of with myself, feeling a little stagnant.
Okay.
And it's like, you know what, I need to change. I need to just get out there. I need to really show myself what I'm capable of. And that kind of really fit into the timing of all that. So I thought, you know what, why not? And, I showed up, met you, met Kendall, met everyone else, and it was like, okay, here we go. And it's been one heck of a ride ever since then.
So did that challenge your, when you thought about getting out there, presenting yourself, and the learning process, what was that like?
Super uncomfortable.
How long did it take you to get to the point where you're not?
I still am uncomfortable, I know there's others who have done a lot more jobs and a lot more, maybe bigger, things. But for me, it's, every time before I'm there, it's like kind of jitters, it's kind of anxiety, it's excitement, it's like all of it, even still, because the focus is like,
You.
boom, you, it's not a look away, it's like, it's you. And it's very, very interesting, but I just gotta get out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like a lot of us, can live in our head, especially when it comes to this.
Yeah.
And it's best that you don't, and you don't really I don't get attached. So you know what? I'm gonna go have fun. And I feel like if I come from a place of having fun, then that's just what it is. If I mess up, I mess up.
Yeah.
They'll
You
let
make
me
a
know.
mistake.
Yeah, they'll let me
Yeah.
know. We didn't like that, So I still get a little anxious before. I totally do.
Yeah, you've been doing it about a year, a little over a year.
A little over here. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was your first job like?
Oh wow. So my first job I remember was a Lumio commercial, which is a solar commercial, and I was a solar rep, and I had lines.
You had to deliver.
I had to deliver in front of this like pretty big, stage production. It was very overwhelming. It was. I had practiced. I had, gone over my lines. I felt like I was ready. I was comfortable on set. And as soon as the cameras came on, it was like, deer in headlights. But I got over it.
Shifted.
I shifted. I totally shifted. And it's one of those getting out of my, I could get out of my head. And I'm doing this to be uncomfortable. And I feel like once I told myself this is not going to be easy and you're going to be uncomfortable, I just accepted that it was going to be uncomfortable.
Acceptance was a big part of that.
Yeah.
And then moving through it.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed about you as a talent is that you have to have a physical look, which we have, right? But it's not just about that. It's also about the drive, willing to, you're teachable.
Yeah.
You're willing to get in and learn, and you're willing to make a mistake through risk taking. You're willing to get in there and say, okay, I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to work through it as I go. And then your attitude, the way you approach things, is so good.
Thank you.
Because you get right back to us. You go for it. You create a way for yourself to do this, even if you've got all these other things lined up.
Sure. And I think, most of us do, right? There are some who are more focused on just this being their thing. For me, it's the learning that I get from it, the pushing myself to the brink of just being so uncomfortable, coming out of that. If I'm being honest, when I finish doing my little shoot, I'm in the car.
Yeah.
I am like, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I just did that. Woo! I'm verbally saying that to myself in my car, and it's just an amazing feeling.
That's a dopamine.
It really is. It's such an amazing feeling. Even if it's the smallest thing, like, you know what, I did that. And then I feel like it's just getting me one step, stacking all those little wins, and that more like, what am I capable of? It just keeps getting better and better and better.
Did you ever have anyone approach you and say, "Why are you doing that? That's dumb," or "I can't believe you're doing that"?
No, as a matter of fact, the modeling and stuff,
Yeah.
I had people saying to me more like, why have you not done this before? Well,
That's awesome.
and the truth is because I've never, and I still, I'm not like I take myself very serious kind of guy. Like I never, I had this misconception of like when you're in front of the camera, all that. I'm a silly, like in the cut kind of guy. That's not me. But I also feel like we all have different sides of our personality, and that guy isn't. Even if it's just like, dude, you're going to have fun.
Well, you're acting too.
Yeah.
You're always pulling out a different character, different
Yeah.
emotion,
Yeah.
storytelling.
Yep.
Right? It's
Yep.
just about embracing that.
Yep. So yeah.
So you started out developing. How long did it take you to really feel it, to where you understood and you started getting to the point where, okay, I know how to rotate my face. I know how to show expression.
Yeah. So that did happen. That did. I started feeling less like, what do I do?
Robotic.
Robotic. Oh my gosh, why are my eyes so big? Like I started feeling less like that probably, maybe after like the first 5-6 jobs that I booked, and just the feeling of knowing that, you're talking to everybody, you're open, you're this and that. It's not really about you until it's about you. I got a lot more comfortable with that. I was like, okay, seeing myself on camera, seeing myself in, different ways behind the scene, behind the camera, was really giving me an idea of kind of how to move, and even just being in the company of, the director and this and that was just gotten more and more comfortable. So I'd say after like my 5th or 6th, maybe even 7th job, yeah.
What do you like about it? What's your favorite thing about doing this?
Learning the ins and outs, learning that, doing modeling is not just being a face in front of the camera. It's like your position, it's your face, it's your angles, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
I feel like over the years they're just like, oh, she's a model, and like you just stand there. Yeah, no. If you just stand there, they're probably not going to call you back.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be like, okay, we need some movement, like move around,
Yeah.
So just the learning and meeting with different people, and really, most importantly, me just pulling it out, shifting at myself, like all that stuff is in there, and then seeing myself on camera, going, okay, I think I look like I belong there. Yeah, I feel like I belong there. So just this in the self-discovery, it's just like, okay, I can do this. Yeah. So.
Self-discovery can be really interesting because we don't always know what's coming, right?
Yeah.
Unexpectedly, it just kind of comes into your space.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an aha moment where you're like, wow?
Yes, I have on set, and it was actually doing some live fashion stuff where it was. I mean, it's everyone with their laptop just boom directly at you, and you're like a mannequin, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's poking and prodding, and this, that, and the other. And it was like this big salesman, and I didn't know that it was going to be, walking in, and there was going to be 60, 70 people just watching. That was a little nerve-wracking, but I thought, you know what? We had like a little break or whatever, and I came back out, and it was like, it just clicked. It literally just clicked, and it couldn't have felt better.
Oh.
It couldn't have felt better. It kind of felt like like yes, okay, here we go. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
What about investing in yourself? What does that mean? Because you know how people say, well, if an agency wants me, they'll just take me. They'll pay for everything. They'll do everything for me. The agency is supposed to direct me and give me that resource. Do you believe that that's true?
No, I don't. I mean, you have to show that you want it, right? You have to show that you're putting forth the effort. You have to show that it matters. You also have to show that, you want to be there. Otherwise, they can do all of that, but you're not going to, it's like that, you teach someone to fish, as opposed to just giving them a bit,
Just here you go.
Just here you go.
Yeah,
you
just do it.
Just do it. Or, oh, don't worry, we'll do it. It really, and I think just in other facets of life, investing in yourself, you'll
Right, because it's
Never.
always about taking it on and that accountability.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you'll just get better. You'll
Yeah.
just grow. Who doesn't want to grow?
Yeah,
You
and
know?
well, that's one thing that I think is really good about you, is that you're always willing to just get in there and do it.
Yeah.
You know, and you might be fearful, but I would never know it. Just
No.
because you just step into it and you say, "Oh, bring it on! I got it. Let's go for it."
There's that voice in the back that's like, okay, hold on, wait a second. I don't know if we're ready yet. Quiet, you. And we just,
Yeah.
and just go. Just go. There's that sense of like, okay, I just did that. Or sometimes when we're doing it, you're saying to yourself, you're like, oh my God, I'm doing this. And then the nerves come. But it's like, you suppress that. And on the other side of that coin, it's like, no, you're doing this. And look, they haven't told you, okay, stop. Your arm looks weird. Or whatever.
Yeah.
You're doing it. You're doing something right. So, yeah, that's big.
Is there anything that you would say to a person just thinking about it, that wants to do it but is really hesitant because they don't know if they can, or they feel that pressure of, what if I fail? What's going to happen to me? I'm going to be thrown in this arena of wolves, and I don't know if I can handle that.
I would say yes, you're going to be thrown in that arena of not necessarily wolves, but you're going to be thrown in that arena.
Yeah.
You're going to fail. You're going to be uncomfortable. But with that said, I would say, don't take yourself short. You don't know. Let someone else, let them tell you, let them figure out, like, hey, maybe this is, like someone would tell you this, maybe this is not for you. But all those things are going to they're going to happen. Tell yourself, this is going to be uncomfortable. This is going to be something that I don't know if I can do. And just try it.
Self-generated thoughts.
That's it. I know it sounds cliche, and a lot of people are like, oh, no, there's something to that.
Yes, there is.
There really is, and
Absolutely.
I highly believe in that. Be your biggest cheerleader. You just get out there and give it your best. I don't go in wanting to be the best. I just want to go and be the best me.
Yeah.
That's it. If I did it, that's a win for me. You know what I mean? Like I didn't get picked for that part. I didn't get picked for that. It wasn't meant for me to be.
Yeah.
That is okay. Life will go on.
Yes, it will.
So yeah.
Nikolai, thank you.
Of course. Thank you.